Join us now to talk about all of this, political analyst Dick Morris. Dick, you have known Hillary for a long, long time. Her resounding cry that it's for the children, is that always the rallying cry of the left?
Well, it's always Hillary's rallying cry, and it's a good one, and she's done well with that agenda. But let me switch back to the Russia issue. There are three issues now which are the centerpieces of Hillary's political career that are simultaneously coming into question. The Affordable Care Act, which parallels what she proposed in '93, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which relates to her reset button and her accommodation with Putin, and the NSA surveillance tapes where she received them and in many cases may have ordered them. And all three of those come directly to her. And in the last 2 weeks, on all three issues, she's attempted to reposition herself. She called for a mature dialogue about balancing privacy and security at the NSA. She said that on Obamacare, that she thinks that while it's a good idea, there may be things that need to be fixed in it. And now on Russia, she's saying that we have to be firm with Russia. These are all attempts to counterbalance the negative that's coming out, because her positions, reset Russia, increase security surveillance, and pass Affordable Care Act, that have defined her political career, are now all coming back to haunt her.
And let's go a little deeper on the Russian issue, Dick. Here are some more of the comments from Hillary Clinton with reference to a Cold War. I hope there's not another Cold War. Obviously, nobody wants to see that. I think that's primarily up to Putin. And then, this is a clash of values, and it's an effort by Putin to rewrite the boundaries of post-World War II Europe. If he's allowed to get away with that, then I think you'll see a lot of other countries either directly facing Russian vassals, not sovereign democracies. Now with this, it seems rather than interpretation or policy priorities, Hillary's just trying to redefine the field as it stands now, almost reporting to the people rather than offering analysis or action points.
And inaccurately, Ukraine is not a post-World War II boundary. It was firmly embedded in the USSR in 1946. It's a post-1991 change after the Soviet Union dissolved. It's an attempt to rewrite those boundaries. But what's really behind this is she's trying to be tough and aggressive and firm because she had such an image as being a kinder, gentler, nicer, sweeter Secretary of State. The other thing that's fascinating is that she said that while she is personally skeptical of Iran, she supports Obama and Kerry. So she's trying to have it both ways on that issue. What's going on here is that, on the one hand, she's leashed, tethered to Obama, both because he's her former boss and because of his popularity in the party. So she doesn't want to criticize him, but far away from his policies on Russia, Iran, surveillance, and health care as she can feasibly do.
Before we get what's happening there, that reinforced on video, Dick, you master communicator. But I want to go back in time, because if I recall correctly, when you were invited into the Clinton White House, did it not come at the personal behest of the then First Lady? Did Hillary pick up the phone and initiate that contact with you?
Yes, Hillary did. And Hillary did the first time after he lost the governorship, and they called me back in, but it was kind of at Bill's behest.
But what does that tell? I guess
Hillary loved me because I ran negative campaigns. I was very hard-hitting and aggressive. She thought Bill was much too much of a nice guy, a Boy Scout, she used to call him, and she thought I didn't have any of those traits.
Well, what about her traits politically? I mean, as a tough customer or candidate, what do you think?
Well, that's when I came back to work for Clinton in 1995, late 94, early 95. I told Clinton, Bill, there were two problems you have. One is you're seen as immoral by about a third of the voters, and about a third say you're weak. And I chided him. I said, immoral, we can't do anything about, but weak, we can. And when I polled further, I found out that people felt that he and Hillary were a zero-sum game. The tougher he was, the weaker she was, the stronger she was, the weaker he was. People didn't get that you can be greater than the sum of your parts in a good marriage back then. So I urged Hillary, and she did, to back off the West Wing activities, stay out of the policy meetings, stop proposing initiatives, do First Lady stuff like East Wing, and then to craft an agenda that was a First Lady's agenda. So, for example, she went to China and condemned forced abortions, which was wonderful. And I think that, and that was all part of an effort for her not to take Bill Clinton's strength away from him. And by the way, that stands in such contrast to Michelle Obama's coming trip to China, where she's specifically not addressing policy or politics, not even allowing the press to travel with her. Our only involvement is we're paying the bill.
Yeah, we'll have a lot more about that. Dick, I also wanted to ask you, if you were advising Hillary Clinton right now, what do you think she is more concerned about looking ahead to 2016? This issue with Russia and her infamous video now pressing the reset button, or Benghazi? Could Russia overshadow Benghazi if this persists?
Well, Benghazi is a gift that's going to keep on giving as hearings expose more information, and it goes to Hillary's competence and her integrity in terms of the characterization of this as a reaction to a video.
Sure.
I think that Hillary's top political priority right now should be to assure that she does not have a Democratic primary. Deal with the general election when you get up to it. Right now, she needs, I think, to be more to the left. Which she's not doing. She's doing the opposite, because I think that ultimately she needs to secure that nomination. 2008 could be replayed with Elizabeth Warren taking the part of Barack Obama.
She could be challenged from the left for sure, and a lot of people are predicting that. Dick, we'll ask you to stick around. We'll talk more about the GOP's makeover coming up right after this.
We have to stop talking about Hillary.
Don't go away, though. Don't go away. We'll talk about it in the commercial break. But we'll make sure we reach out. We want to get your questions as well. Coming up, we'll talk to Dick about the GOP's makeover and will it work, especially Rand Paul's tack out there and the standing ovation he got recently at the ultra-liberal California Berkeley University. Tweet us your questions, your concerns, your responses. You can reach us on social media at Newsmax TV, hashtag America's Forum on Twitter, on Facebook, facebook.com/NewsmaxTV.